Whee! My shoe slid down the slippery rocks on the pathway. Since it rained for the last few days, the road was damp, which added an element of danger, or in my case, fun times. Remembered what happened last time this happened. It ended well. I did a graceful half-turn and waited for DeAndre to catch up with me. With DeAndre, apparently. Careful now, we don't need you flying off the edge here. Why do you look so evil? Can you not eat me, please? I'm an accomplished dancer. Some slimy rocks won't trip me up. Oh, we have new character building. Oh hey, where does that lead? My attention swiftly zeroed in on a beaten path that went downward towards the roads and houses. No idea, shall we take a detour? This'll end well. I remember the last time I took a detour and got lost in the chain of events that happened because of it. Sure, why not? Still not the brightest spark in the light bulb box. I definitely learned from my mistakes. However, the path did not lead far. It took us to a rectangular area in the forest, roughly 40 yards across. It doesn't look like we've moved at all. Some hay bundles were stacked in a pile. DeAndre and I exchanged confused glances. Why would there be hay in the middle of nowhere? It looks like it's been there for ages too. Beats me. We could always ask Augustine or Hendrik, maybe they know. Is it even worth bringing up? It's only an abandoned fodder. Wouldn't hurt. Now let's head back before we get lost somehow. 40 yards across. I'm sure you'll be okay. I highly doubt that. Hey, it already happened once to me. Once we returned to the museum, I poked my head into the indoor laboratory. Hendrik was carefully prying stone flakes off a core, occasionally adding some sort of solvent to a moist cloth. That better not be what I think it is. I've got a strong man here. Hello, what can I do for you? Fuck you, why do you need to address me so formally? We know each other. DeAndre and I flied into the room while I curiously peered at the half-dismantled core. It's your soul. We stopped by, it's probably not. We stopped by to ask about some hay. Hay? There's a stack of hay in the forest. Of the cave path. Oh, that! What about it? Wondering why it's there? See, during tours or festivals, we use that area to throw javelins. We also set up some sort of target against the hay. Oh, that's all he said. So, where do you keep the weapons? Hall closet? Second floor, actually. Look, I don't know how to tell you this, DeAndre, but they're probably not going to let random students walk out of a school with javelins. That is a disaster waiting to happen. My shoulder's hanging out of my socket. Well, I mean, I guess he's paying for that, you know? Would we even be allowed them? Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to go wrong. Of course, in fact, I can demonstrate right now. Really? Yes, we can squeeze some practice in before it gets dark if you want to, that is. I'm in. You're joining us, right, Melissa? Sure. I mean, life's got to end at some point, hasn't it? Totally, it sounds like fun. You two can run ahead. I need to clean this up and grab the gear. It didn't take long, and soon Hendrik appeared, carrying a javelin and a smaller stick with a rock attached to it. We stood roughly 20 yards from the pile of hay. Hendrik launched into an explanation. I'm guessing neither of you have used an Atlatl before. Well, I don't know what that is, so probably not. We shook our heads as he readied the device. He held the spear tightly and angled his body toward the hay. An Atlatl refers to the small rod here. With this, I'll be able to increase my velocity and the strength of the spear throw using your leverage. Your leverage? Using leverage. He tilted the Atlatl, I'm almost certainly pronouncing that wrong, letting the javelin settle into the dimpled end. It balanced carefully over his shoulders as his left fingers pinched the sides. He took a wide lunge and threw the javelin with fluid force. It penetrated the hay and I applauded energetically. Whoa, nice one. Good to know I haven't gotten rusty. Unlike the javelin. DeAndre received... Hang on, is that... He does have a hook for a hand. Have we ever noticed that before? I've noticed he had a metallic arm but didn't think much of it, but I guess it's always hidden by the text bar. Have we just forgotten? I'm pretty sure that's the... whatever. DeAndre retrieved the spear and accepted the Atlatl from Hendrik. I watched Hendrik give pointers, repeating his motions while DeAndre followed ineptly. He attempted one throw, but it only went a few feet and clattered to the ground harmlessly. This is harder than it looks. Of course it is. It takes practice. Put your fingers to the side of the spear like you're holding a pencil. I notice you grasp the top. You can't release it like that. Grasp it from the top. I'm trying to think if rugby could help in any way here, and I'm almost certain it can't. After fumbling a few times, DeAndre held the weapon over his shoulder and threw it with all of his might. Yeah, maybe this is... I mean, would even American footballers be any good at this? Probably not. This time, the javelin sailed clear over the hay. That's a wonderful thing about Atlatls. The leverage makes it so you don't have to apply much force to achieve great distance. That just sounds like it's cheating. That sounds like a mechanism to make people feel better. You can ease off with the strength, DeAndre. You're up, Melissa. I grabbed the Atlatl while DeAndre went off to hunt for the missing spear. Whoa, don't throw it whilst he's fucking looking. He's gonna get stabbed. What's wrong with you? Since you're right-handed, put your left foot forward. Angle your body like this and keep the shaft close to your ear. DeAndre handed me the javelin once he returned. Good. I already struggled to keep it inserted to the cup of the Atlatl. Curse these small fingers. DeAndre, something Donald Trump. Do I gain internet points by making relevant meme jokes? I think I do. DeAndre smirked teasingly as they stepped back to give me room. Careful there, I don't want to accidentally be skewered. Well, you will if my fucking Angus, right? Will you just be, well, not you, just be wary of what you say while I'm armed. Aren't you always armed? It's funny because she has arms. It's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist, Melissa. Make sure you flick down when you release it. Recalling Hendrik's advice, I raised my arms and carefully balanced myself as I focused on the target. I should... Don't stop believing. With a reckless arc, I swung my arm out like I was throwing a basketball. Jesus Christ. How high are you throwing it? The javelin threw, but veered a hard left, completely missing the hay bundle. Oh, that didn't exactly go as I planned. Don't forget to keep your eyes on the target. Well, DeAndre was standing behind me. Before I could take a step, DeAndre already ran off to retrieve the javelin like an eager puppy. The three of us alternated, taking turns to try and hit the hay bundle. Hendrik remained relatively consistent, while DeAndre and I were still trying to figure out the motions. After a loud "Hiya!", DeAndre hurled the javelin and it bounced off a tree. If you were hunters, I'd starve to death. No, if we were hunters, DeAndre would race down the rabbit and punch it in the face, okay? I've played rugby. I know that is almost certainly the rules to the sport. I think. I might be wrong. You'd starve anyway since you don't eat meat. Then Hendrik wouldn't mind that I completely took down a tree. We'll have some roasted bark tonight. Good thing trees aren't good at dodging. And why would... What's all this? Right, we got a new target. Our laughter died as someone emerged from the pathway. Chantal eyed us curiously before she studied the javelin that DeAndre picked up. We're all practicing how to use an Atlatl. Would you like to try? Oh god. Sure, how does this work anyway? You have that weird fringe thing, I'm never quite sure what it looks like. Like deliberately split in the centre. DeAndre handed her the items and we gave Chantal some room. Hendrik demonstrated first to show her how to hold them. Chantal copied him, her hand hovering over her ear, but then continued until it was high above her head. Like this? Lower, you need the shaft closer to your ear. Not first I said that. The Atlatl thrower practically rested on her shoulder while she expectantly waited for Hendrik to correct her. I realised she was hoping for a more hands-on approach, but Hendrik was oblivious to her intentions and continued to gently critique her stance. A smidgen higher, Chantal. Here, Hendrik means like this. DeAndre stood slightly behind Chantal and manipulated her right arm until it held the weapon over her shoulder. Oh yeah, bigger than you thought. Now try it. Chantal was surprised that DeAndre came to her aid, but she mustered up a grateful smile and nodded. Right. As the two continued talking, Hendrik positioned himself beside me. Did you make the Atlatl? Me? Oh no, it's all Rosemary's arts and crafts. But don't tell her I called her hobby that, or I'll be her next Atlatl target. It's funny because it's lethal. Promise. So Rosemary made it? Was it something Neanderthals used? That's a bit of a hot topic right now. Currently, the evidence points to no, but nothing has been conclusive yet. So no is the answer. You can't give a definitive yes, so we're just going to say no until proven otherwise. Good. The earliest Atlatl found came from the southern... Nah, that doesn't say southern, that says Salutrium industry, dated, if my memory doesn't fail me, 17,500 years before the present. That's quite some time. However, we also studied early modern humans here. We discovered an occupied site in the cave, 40,000 years old in fact. Rosemary specialises in ChrisTenarium. I mean, I thought we were doing humans. You can't just... They would be so small. How haven't they eroded with time? But she occasionally dabbles in more recent technology. ChrisTenarium? The tool industry. Oh, tool. Okay. Bet you were there, weren't you, Hendrik? The tool industry that occurred between 300,000 and 30,000 years ago. Often associated with Neanderthals, the area you're digging in. We looked up in time to see Chantal launch the javelin futilely. I threw it, but it didn't go anywhere. If you're constantly trying to warp your face in such a way that it keeps making that pose, no wonder it's not going anywhere. That's where all of your attention's going to. You did the same thing I did here. Your fingers were gripping the top when, after a few more turns, it was getting darker and Hendrik decided to call it quits before it got dangerous. Besides, you all must be hungry. Go eat. I walked beside DeAndre when Hendrik complimented Chantal's Atlatl skills, causing her to beam happily. That was fun. Glad we decided to ask why there was some hay in the middle of a forest. Got nothing of value done today. Yeah, it's a shame that Atlatl throwing isn't part of the grade. Maybe it can be a bonus mark. Why would it ever be? She was shit at archaeology, but she sure knew how to throw an Atlatl. B-. Like, no. That'd be wonderful. All that throwing made me hungry. No roasted bark? I'd prefer something with more flavour. Well, don't knock it till you tried it. Come on. I'm so hungry I'd probably settle for roasted bark. Well, now that's being silly. Oh, more of this beautiful, beautiful... Oh, fuck you, failing at volunteering. Still as useless as Kyla. Are we going to get along this time? Probably not, judging by their expressions. Fine, I'll be the adult here. You really suck as a volunteer partner, but I shouldn't have yelled at you. I'm sorry. That's not an apology! I'm still shouting at you for the thing I did before, but sorry about that. No, that's not... I didn't mean to snap at you while preparing lunch last week. You know what you're doing and I won't ignore your advice. It's cool. At least he didn't say that fucking phrase. I'll set the table then. Remember, the forks go to the left side of the plates. I mean, of course they do. Because right-hand people are normal. Left-handers, siniestra, right? Do you know what that means? Evil. Look, they call themselves that, okay? Don't blame me. Blame whoever came up with that. I know what I'm doing. That didn't last long. DeAndre rolled his eyes before he turned to me. That wasn't so bad now, was it? I guess, but I doubt we'll get along swimmingly. Can't stand him. I'm sure there's a few good things about Kyla. Like, he's hardworking in the cave. Can't think of anything after all. Fuck me, that's harsh and so beautiful that I have to say it. Don't strain yourself now, I got nothing. I guess he's kind of cute if you squint. Oh, that is the most backhanded compliment ever. Really? Like I said, if you squint, I have a call to make, I'll be right back. Okay. All done? I set everything up and... Why are you staring at me like that? No reason. Great. I don't know if that's still what we're going... If you're walking around in front of exhibits so cautiously and wondering what's going on, then no wonder you're failing at it. Okay, so we have to set it up again. Great. Volunteer, volunteer, lab. Basically, we're just trying to make sure we're with DeAndre. That's... I mean, it should be pretty obvious who I'm going for at this point, but... How about gaming gets that up? Whatever. Inquire... Oh wait, did catch? What does catch do? It still gets up our stress. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I guess we'll just play catch anyway. Lab, yeah. Volunteer, yeah. And then cave. And then... Why are we even going for rational? I don't even know what his points are. Was it rational or was it catch? It's probably catch, isn't it? It's probably too late. It's fine. She does. She likes stress. I heard. She told me, actually. Okay, volunteer. Okay, so volunteering gets everything up. There's no reason not to do that. I don't know whether it's cultural. We're so far into, like, rational. We can't just give it up now. Explore the museum twice. And then, I guess, dance. Play. Oh, good. We have another game. Oh, God. Alright. What a hero of cleaning archaeology bones we truly are. The Atlatl industry. The best kind of industry, if I knew what it was. This bone looks fragile at the ends. I'll just wipe the middle then. And once I was done, I wrote down its identification and placed it into a cup next to me. Oh, God. Have we even spoken to you outside of a bad thing? I'm unsure. I think the only time we've done it, you were angry. Oh, well. This can only go one way, can't it? Here's hoping.